more than 3 decades since the original, and after a milestone run at the box office, Top Gun Maverick finally arrived on DVD, all the home medias, including a 4K Steelbook. Hey everyone, Joe here from the Collection Compass, and welcome to another unboxing for you today. Here we have Top Gun Maverick, the long-awaited sequel to the original Top Gun back in the 80s. It's kind of crazy the fact that after so many years, the fan base was still there clamoring for the long-awaited sequel, and they spoke, and I'm gonna say this, once Mission Impossible does come to an end, eventually in a couple years, Tom Cruise got another franchise to milk upon for another decade or so. I'm not even wanting to complain there. I'm just saying that Top Gun Maverick, I'm not trying to showboat it, we'll talk more about this in the review process later on. It has had, I think, one of the best non-Marvel, non-superhero, like, it had one of the best box office draws since Avatar, and that's a big, bold statement to say for me. Like, so if you're just removing all the franchise stuff, Top Gun, you can say it's probably like iconic in terms of its trademark, in terms of its like its naming, its IP. You can say all that. The thing is that they have not put out a sequel to the original since the 80s. It is now 2022, and now we're just getting the sequel. And the fact it still drew the amount of crowds it did on opening weekend, the amount that it stayed in theater, it stayed in a traditional old time setting in terms of like more than a 90-day theatrical run, which is now typically not even remotely possible. I think the one beforehand was Spider-Man No Way Home, but that was because of, you know, everyone knows about that one. So this was the first one since then. And the fact that it was, you know, just based on the name and, of course, Tom Cruise alone, as well as the one thing you got to always give Tom Cruise credit of is that all of his movies, he's actually putting himself in these situations. Like, all of this is not Photoshop. These are not green screen. These are not anything. Even the covers themselves, these are actually Tom Cruise. These are actually him on location or inside the plane, inside the jet. And I'm just like, it baffles my mind that this man is still even alive. Like, he is the modern day Jackie Chan. He is the modern day Bruce Lee, where he will literally do whatever it takes. He will do everything practically, because guess what? It delivers the most authentic and the most believable experience. And we as the viewer, when we actually get to see the finished product, is exactly what we see. So, as much as I've grown privately to my friends, they're like, will this movie ever stop? I gotta say, I'm not surprised it got yet another theatrical run. When I'm finally recording this, because I was so delayed on getting the DVD, they just renewed it for another theatrical run before it hits on Paramount Plus before Christmas, which I'm like, that's insane that it got 3 theatrical runs in the first year alone, and I can guarantee you it'll probably come back in the next couple of years. There's no way you're gonna slow down this train, and I'm willing to admit, I'm man enough to admit that yes, Top Gun Maverick is the film that definitely is going to be quite amusing to see what can overtop it next. Like, what is going to be the next non-Marvel, non-DC thing that's going to like really set the world on fire? Will it be Avatar 2? I don't believe so, but we'll find out. But anyway, let's go through the actual home media themselves and take a look at what did they deliver on the long-awaited home media release for Top Gun Maverick. So starting out, we have the DVD, which is just using the poster from the movie, or at least one of them. This is just one of the still shots for Tom Cruise leaving his jet from the movie, him in a badass pose, the sun. Oh my god, this is just so perfect. Again, how long did it take to frame this shot in real life? I don't even want to know, but you know what? It makes for a pretty badass cover. It's just very simple, one review. The logo, of course, is named Bold and Center. Side profile of the movie with the logo, which I gotta say is growing on me every passing second. And in the back, more reviews, more shots of the film, the description, all that sort. But the one thing to note about this is that, sad to say, the most highest earned movie of 2022 does not have anything on its DVD. It is just the movie with the usual subtitles and everything, not a director's commentary, nothing. Even on the inside, boom, it's just the gray disc. It's literally just the gray disc of death, not even a pamphlet. Like, this movie printed so much money, they're like, you know what, fans are just gonna buy this regardless of what we actually put out. And I'm just like, you know what, if you're just buying the movie itself for the retail price of $20 with no bonus features, I understand considering what Tom Cruise had to go through, and as well as the rest of the cast, to make this movie possible. I think that's fine. I would have at least liked a director's commentary or a Tom Cruise commentary or something of the sort on the DVD. But you know what? The movie itself is just enough. Now, next up, we have the Steelbook itself, which I gotta say, it looks really, really badass. It's not something that's supposed to be like over the top. It's literally just Tom Cruise, well, Maverick, looking at the battleship as presumably he's leaving to go begin his mission. And I gotta say this, even just the simplest shot alone, with, of course, this being the actual real-time shot and everything, it just looks beautiful. And I'm just like, again, it may look simple, but it actually does speak volumes. So I'll give credit there. Side profile again. And on the back, you get to see another shot of like, and also apparently a thing that they did is that they actually build like these very small, I think IMAX set cameras to actually go inside the cockpit and shoot the actual scenes while they're flying in the air, which I'm like, that is pretty dope. Again, shout out to the entire team for making that possible. And actually what's funny is that one of the actors in this movie is doing another aviation movie that's literally like, I'm not trying to be copying case from Top Gun, but I could definitely see more and more studios attempting to try and like replicate that Top Gun style to see if they can like, you know, catch fire a second time. It's actually one of the actors playing a different character this time, playing one of the leads. And I'm just like, that is so CG to hell, which I'm like, oh, oof. Top Gun really spoiled it. It really did. And so we look on the inside. We get all the goodies. We get the 2 discs, the Blu-ray in classic blue, the 4K in all black, the digital codes on the back, and you get advertisement for other Tom Cruise movies you can pick up. Also from Paramount, which is the original Top Gun, the Mission Impossible, all 6 movies, and for some reason Jack Reacher 2 and Days of Thunder, which I'm like, of all the Tom Cruise movies you can pick, you pick these. Like, I don't know what you're thinking of Paramount, pal. I don't know what you're thinking. Like, okay, I can understand Mission Impossible, I can understand Top Gun 1, but why Jack Reacher 2? Why not the original Jack Reacher? That one I heard was a better movie. I haven't seen those movies, so I'm like, I've only seen the Reacher show, which is enough. And on the inside of the cover, you get to see another iconic shot of when Tom Cruise is, I keep saying Tom Cruise, like, Maverick is riding his motorcycle at the end of, well, at one of the moments of the movie. And again, this being like, I'm sorry that this are covering it, but like, just seeing him with the natural sunlight and everything is just, it's so beautiful. It's like, again, they really, simple is enough. Like, you just being practical nowadays in a very VFX environment, it does remind people that, like, hey, we can actually make very beautiful stuff without the use of green screen, which I'm like, yeah, that's a thing that happens. Like, again, I'm not trying to criticize green screen at all. It is very much a valuable tool for filmmakers to use, because again, you know, you want to not limit your story and everything, which I completely understand, but still, like, you know, sometimes, like, having one of these movies where, like, it's simple and, like, you know, it's just, you don't need that much to showcase the visuals. And here we have the J card, which is the Top Gun Maverick logo. Same thing like the DVD, except it does promise 80 minutes worth of bonus features only on the Blu-ray disc, so you have to go play in the Blu-ray disc to get that, and not the 4K disc, because the 4K disc is just only the movie. But, and also remember, only the Blu-ray disc has the special features. The 4K disc does not have. It's just the movie on the 4K disc. All the special features are on the Blu-ray disc. And again, I'm very curious to see, because like they never really posted anything that I'm aware of about the behind the scenes of Top Gun Maverick or anything about that online. So it's like, you know, you're getting 80 minutes of actual, like, you know, probably what their training process was like. And that's the stuff I like. That's the stuff I really like, when you actually get into the detail, get into the nitty gritty of like, oh, how was this movie shot? What was the decision factor of all that? That's the stuff I love about these behind the scenes stuff. I wish more DVDs would get that nowadays, but I'm like, you know what? You pick your battles the way it is. Here's the specs, but it's just George here, because he has the need for speed. So if you were going to tell me that this movie would make almost $1.5 billion in the box office, I honestly would be completely surprised. Because no offense to the draw power that is Tom Cruise. I wasn't expecting that to be the case, because like I blatantly thought like this was just a cash grab. Because keep in mind here, guys, I learn new things as I go in life. I don't really keep in tune with everything, to be honest with you, but I will acknowledge that I did make mistakes, and I do make misinterpretations that, okay, there would be a reason why Top Gun would be getting a sequel all this time, because I just thought, oh, Mission Impossible's ending, this would be a great other franchise for him. But no, I think one of the benefits for this movie for me is that one of my good friends, she was a big Tom Cruise fan, and she brought me to go see the movie during her first showing. She'd seen it so many times, and I was immediately surprised at just how very entertaining this was. The first movie I saw on Netflix, because I didn't see the first movie growing up, it just wasn't in my wheelbarrow. The only Tom Cruise movies I saw growing up was just the Mission Impossible films. I haven't seen any of his other work. And I was just like, okay, it's an okay movie. I didn't really feel it was like amazing or anything. It was really good, but I didn't really think much of it. Then I went to go see the sequel. I was like, wow, this is perfectly capable for anybody, a newcomer who has never seen the first movie, or someone that's been waiting so long for the sequel, to just come in and just immediately like get encapsulated with the movie. Because I'm just surprised at how like everything was shot practically. Like, you know, when you compare to like a lot of other movies that do these sort of like sequences, like flying sequences, they're all CG'd and everything. Which again, that it's a safety precaution. But you know, Tom Cruise is the guy who's just like, you know what, I don't care. I want to give audience members an authentic experience. You know, what better way to give them the authentic experience? You know, not recreations or simulation, but like an actual like being in the cockpit. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like I wouldn't be surprised if the insurance for this film was like over for the roof, because like you're talking about like an entire main cast of characters being in these fighter jets for months on end, shooting these scenes, doing these crazy stunts. I would honestly be like, I would be shitting my pants, because like I would probably die in the first day. And the fact that everything was shot practically, there is not a single ounce of CG in this film, which I'm like, that's crazy for me to believe, because like I'm just so used to like, you can only tell a great story when you have great tools, but instead they use everything that they were humanly able to do, and it created this great film. I don't think this is a masterpiece of a film. I definitely do think it's an experience. And that's a little bit of a weird thing, because I don't think this is an Oscar-winning movie. I definitely think if there was a category for stunts, which I'm pretty sure there is, if they're not, they really should, this would instantly win, because there's absolutely no way you can top this. And this isn't even stunt actors. These are just the actual actors. Which I'm like thinking to myself, oh my god, it blows my mind just thinking that, oh god, these actors were just in those freaking jets. And I know there were some other interviews about the experience, and I was just like, even just thinking about that alone was just, oh my god, I can't fathom it. But in terms of like just an actual review portion, I thought it was great. I thought it was just a very enjoyable film, an eventful ride. Definitely sold me that Tom Cruise isn't just Ethan from the Mission Impossible. He's not just that. He is more than just that, and you know, he can definitely put his body through a lot of things. I think he is definitely the modern day Jackie Chan, and you know, I even though he's getting a little too high up there, you know, in terms of an age, you know, I really hope he continues making these movies as long as he's alive, because it's just surreal the fact that this type of movie exists, that, you know, that you can still perform these kind of stunts and, you know, get this amount of quality footage, practical reasons, and I'm just like, I'm blown away by it. And yeah, I would love to see more from the Top Gun universe in the future, you know, definitely not just the experience alone. Like, this was a well-acted film, this was a great story. I would love to see a third one, hopefully not in another 37 years when I'm 40, or not 40, in my 50s, but I would definitely would want to see one within the next decade. Just continue that story smartly. You know, definitely this is something that, you know, they were really holding on of, that they were making sure that the story's great, that the way to shoot these scenes were at the next level, and the time came, and it paid off. And I could definitely imagine Paramount is definitely going to want to keep the franchise going, whether that is getting the third one in a decade, or, you know, whenever it feels ready. But, you know, I'm honestly on board. So for me, Top Gun Maverick, it's a definite recommendation. I would really highly enjoy it. It's actually back in theaters again, which I'm like, I'm just, it's crazy to think about for me, because the movie just wrapped its theatrical run finally in September, and now it's back again after not even 3 months. Hell, the digital came out and these guys came out, and they still want to put them back in theaters. So I'm like, you know what? If it makes more money, that's great. That's really great. I'm not going to criticize them for that, but still, it's just crazy that this type of film came out in our lifetime again. And, you know, that, you know, I am not surprised, and also surprised that this film made the amount of money that it did. And who knows where more films can take. And hopefully this definitely give a boost to Tom Cruise's reputation in terms of, like, you know, he knows exactly what the viewers want. He's definitely someone on par with The Rock and Kevin Feige, that just they know exactly what the fans want, and they know how to tell a great story and tell it the best way possible. But yeah, with that being said, I would highly recommend it in terms of the whole media cover. I'm gonna give it to the Steelbook. Movie poster's fine whatsoever. Again, they're both beautiful shots. I think just the Steelbook alone for that is just great. I know there's another Steelbook version, a more holographic one. I didn't really like that one. I'm not really a big fan of those. So the Steelbook would be my high recommendation. And yeah, I think, you know, I think just in general, I think that this is a great purchase for your collection. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the Top Gun Maverick. Have you picked up the home medias? Have you picked any of them up? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to have a conversation with you about it. But I believe that's going to do it for me today, everyone. So if you're unaware, this has been Joe here from the Collection Company is giving you an unboxing of Top Gun Maverick's home medias. If you want to see more of us, please subscribe to us on youtube.com/The Collection Compass. Please also ring the bell. Please also like, favorite, share, follow us on socials to stay up to date. But until we see each other again, thank you so much for watching. But until then, until the next time, stay safe out there, be good to each other, and as always, peace out.